No, same thing.
Thank you again, Miss Rose.
Hmm?
Thank you again.
It's doing the same thing. Nobody knows me by Bud except y'all because it's a family.
Cody talked to me.
He taught you?
Keller.
Where you get this nigga? Where you get this nigga from? Niggas gonna use my whole family name. Man, this some shit. Yo, what's going on? What's going on, YouTube family? I don't know what's going on with our Facebook stream today, but you know we got to keep going. Y'all already know this. I'm gonna periodically try to connect with them folk. Just let me know when you share, Ms. Ross, and then I'm coming behind you with the share game.
So they gotta go through YouTube.
Yeah, cause something wrong with the Facebook shit's not streaming. It's an issue with Facebook today. Jesus Christ.
It's the stream yard. It's not us. You don't know what we got going on.
Let's go. So you gotta go straight from YouTube.
Yeah. Y'all just give us a few. We coming. Shout out to the viewers.
Okay, here we go right here.
All right, hold on. I gotta share it too, the page.
Mm-hmm.
Share.
Mm-hmm.
We get it together, folks. We get it together, y'all vibe. Oh, hold on. We playing commercials.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
We trying to figure it out, folks.
Let me see.
All right, you can check now. I just shared it to you all. That's my baby.
The friends of the mom hate go. They down on the bed, these cry baby. She ain't gave me nothing pussy in a while. She had to boy wait, now I'm my way. Oh, you ain't gonna respond to my text? Oh, yeah, homie, keep on my diamonds at 6. What's your name? Jazz, yeah. Next, go. Nisi, Ash, yeah. She got her hands on the knees with her ass in the air.
Oh, I forgot how to do this.
If a friend ain't around us recording, she big over, shake that ass.
How to share it to Facebook?
You gonna share it to your Facebook page?
Yeah. Put their hands so good, that's a fucking, I ain't using no rubber. When she make that ass bounce like I love her. Got that ass in that mouth from my mother. Type to make you baby mad, you in trouble. NBA playoffs, that ass off the Friends of the mom head, go. They down on the bed, be a cry baby. She ain't gave me nothing pussy in a while. She had to go wait, now I'm my way. Oh, you ain't gonna respond to my text? Oh, yeah, homie, keep on my diamonds at 6. What's your name?
Yeah.
Real hot girl shit.
This is his favorite song, by the way. It don't really have nothing to do with me. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Ain't no problem.
It's just, you know.
Ain't no problem.
He like that. I don't know what's going on.
You guys, make sure y'all share this one too. When y'all go to the YouTube, share that video too.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Shit. Okay, I put it on. Yeah,
Okay.
shit.
Most definitely. I'll make sure I share it. But yeah, what's going on, folks? What's going on? It's Man Talk Monday. We here for New Year.
Yes.
2021.
Happy New Year to all those.
Happy New Year's to
that
everyone.
made it into this year.
Yeah. Definitely.
Happy New Year's. I don't know what other people celebrate. I guess everybody call it New Year's, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Is that synonymous? New Year's is synonymous.
Yeah, I believe so.
You know, you don't want to offend nobody and shit like that. But man, Happy New Year to everybody, man. Thankful for everybody who made it into 2021. Sorry to hear about everybody who didn't. You know, that's how life goes, though, sometimes. So it be like that. Now, we got a special guest today. We got some announcements today. We got a couple of little things going on today. But first, let me start by telling y'all who supports us. Because without them, we couldn't keep doing it. So, first up, y'all already know, is the main man, Puerto Rican E, CEO E. Mistaken Identity ain't just a clothing line, it's a lifestyle, it's a whole brand. That shit, you heard? Y'all make sure y'all go to the website, Mistaken ID, cop that merch. We need you. Y'all, we're gonna do the pop-up shop in a little bit, so be looking out for that. Also, we got Sandra's Accessories, man. 15-year-old girl trying her hardest to make it in this world early. Please go support her, sandrasaccessories.com. If I'm not mistaken, mention Man Talk Monday, you get 10% off of orders, $20 or more. Tanasha Richards Credit Repair, another one of my favorite people. He working with her, and I see the amazing things she do as it pertains to credit. If you got a One United bank account, you mention Man Talk Monday, she give you 25% off credit repair services. Ms. Ross, the boss in charge. She hold on, let me see something. Oh, come this way. Let's go right there. There go Ms. Ross right there. See her. Listen, Ms. Ross got so much going on. It's hard for me to keep up. The only thing that I can say is everything that she is doing is for the community, trying to empower our sisters and brothers to make a way. So we got a couple of different things going on. You could host your own radio show. If you feel like this is easy to you, then you can host your own radio show too. All you got to do is go to the WMRR Facebook page, send a message. Ms. Ross is very good with getting back to you very quickly. And, you know, holler at her. If you think you got the chops to start your own radio show, y'all can do that. If you want to start your own online business, listen, okay? It's 2021. Everybody is making a push for entrepreneurship. So that's what we're going to continue to do too. So now if you want to start your own business, this is another thing Ms. Ross got going on. Now don't murder me because I can't really pronunciate it, y'all. But what is called, Ms. Ross again? What it is? Wamska. So listen, right? You get your own franchise, little Wamska franchise. But it allows you to do so many different things, man. $100 will allow you to keep 100% of your profits. So you ain't even got to go through the legwork or the licensings and Ms. Ross got all that. All you got to do is hit Ms. Ross up. And you can go to www.m as in Mike, Y as in Yankee, W as in Whiskey, O as in Oscar, M as in Mike, S as in Sierra, G as in Golf, A as in Alpha, franchise.com. Right. For more information about that, make sure y'all do that. If you want to start your own business, if you're trying to create generational wealth for your children and your children's children, then that is definitely a great place to start. Also, every Monday and every Friday, it's free advertising for local small businesses. Local small businesses. If you're not in the Miami, Broward area, then you're not local. So unfortunately, no free advertising for you. But if you're a local small businessman, free advertising Mondays and Fridays, again, it's something you got to hit the Facebook page up for, man. WMRR. Man, it's such a beautiful thing. And we really, really making the push, man, to make all of our people's owners. Yes. With that being said, we got another owner in the building. See, we like to build up on this. It's owners. I only hang with owners. 2021, I'm only hanging with owners. You know what I mean, Ms. Ross hang out? Because Ms. Ross is an owner. Another owner. My main man to my far right. Been knowing this guy for years, all the way back since high school. Ain't gonna give y'all our age. You know what I'm saying? One or two of us maybe getting ready for, Social Security in a few years. But my main man, Kelly, man, creator of the website A Wealthy Mindset. I'm sorry. Right. A wealthymindset.com, man. He really put me onto some stuff I didn't know about the whole plant-based living situation. And he is here today. So
let's go.
Without further ado, my man, he needs no introduction. Mr. Holistic himself. Him and Dr. Sebino, I think they know each other. Y'all can ask him about that. I don't know. I think they partners. My main man Kelly in the building today, baby.
Hey, let's go. I appreciate the introduction, man. Thank you very much, man. And speak about a wealthy mindset. It's more than just a website, man. It's really like bringing a lifestyle to the community, man. A Wealthy Mindset is a holistic company that approaches health and wellness, right, not just by identifying problems, but treating the body as a whole, Right. So, when you think about wellness, most people think about physical fitness or being in shape or maybe just eating right. But it's a lot more things that goes into wellness. So what we do at A Wealthy Mindset is bring the information to people to help them understand, like when it comes down to, wellness, it's more than just doing push-ups, running a mile, eating healthy. You got to be able to take care of not only your physical wellness, but your mental wellness, your spiritual wellness, your emotional wellness, even environmental wellness. A lot of those things play a part in it.
Right.
And we're at a wealthy mindset, those are the things we put in the forefront. And we focused on nutrition as a whole, because when it comes down to nutrition, the community is what is affecting us the most. And we can see that by all the chronic illnesses and chronic diseases that are running rampant throughout our community.
Right.
Everyone here knows somebody, or family members with someone that suffers from some type of chronic issues, whether it's hypertension, diabetes, some type of cancer, or things like that. It's out there. So at a wealthy mindset, we help engage with people to understand like what's causing these issues. And the main thing that we've come to learn is that all these issues that are plaguing us in our community are directly related to diet and lifestyle. So diet and lifestyle changes are the main thing that we promote. And, it's overall health and wellness. It's not just one thing. You got to be able to find balance throughout your life, because, how many times have we seen these individuals where they're riding a high horse, they got all the money, they doing this, but they're emotionally drained and depressed, and they're lonely at the top, as they call it, and those things all come from not having balance in your life. So at a wealthy mindset, we help individuals understand how to maintain that balance. That way they're not only just living, but they're actually able to thrive also.
And it's important. It's important. Listen, we don't talk about it enough. I think that we have a lot of stigmas in our community as it pertains to our health and wellness, man. But it's so important. We starting to see a lot more of our little black girls and our little black boys committing suicide, and our mothers and fathers committing suicide, and that's mental wellness.
Right.
I mean, we see a lot of our mothers and fathers, grandmothers and grandfathers succumbing to these ailments like diabetes and lupus, and it's a whole bunch, cancer. So it's so important, man, what they doing, the work that they do is very important. And whether or not you know it, whether or not you want to admit it, because I know a lot of us have that problem. I myself personally, my arm could be broke for 2 weeks, facing the complete wrong direction, and I probably ain't going. So it's really important, man. Y'all go check out the website, awealthymindset.com, AWELLTHY mindset.com. Make sure you do that. We also got the man.
Listen,
we buy houses. We buy domiciles.
Let's go.
We purchase residential and commercial properties. Tater.
Listen, Mr. Taterhead himself. Definitely, we here. Keller here. Healthy Wild. Let me not get it wrong.
Wealthy
mindset. Wealthymindset.com.
Hey, see, he getting them grades on the side of his head.
Miss Ross here, man. Listen, going out of 2020, it has been a lot. It has been a journey. It has been a definitely an eye opener to different things. And only thing I'm thinking about is entrepreneurship, and getting myself in the best position as far as health,
right,
to even see the journey that's about to come along with getting serious and knuckling down and really going in that direction to make things better, not only for us, but family, the friends around us, and just the community with the whole. So we got a lot coming. We got a lot of direction coming. We got a lot going on. So y'all definitely stay tuned and tune in with us.
Yeah. Also, a couple of more shout outs, man. You got Mommies and Makeup. Listen, man. Hey, I myself personally not the biggest fan of makeup in the world. Don't really care for it all that much. I think that my sisters be beautiful the way that they are. But when I tell you these young ladies do some amazing things with makeup, no face paint, and I can't. It's a big difference. It is a difference between somebody who could paint on your face and somebody who actually does makeup. And the makeup looks that these young ladies do, man, is nothing short of amazing. So y'all make sure y'all go check them out. Mommies and Makeup. I don't know when the next live gonna be, but you can always go check out Crystal Walker BSN on Facebook. Latoya
Be Agape.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
Yeah. That one on Instagram. Go check her out too. Mommies and Makeup, man, they do some big things, man. And they looks to be amazing. So y'all check them out. Also, again, we here for y'all. So put your business in there. Let me see your comments. Comment your business. I shout your business out right now while we sit here on the radio as we continue to do our thing and rock about. I will shout your business out. Make sure you comment. We watching all comments and everything. What is today? Today is the what?
The
The 8th.
11th.
Day, ooh,
11th.
I'm all off. Today is Monday, January 11th, 2021. And we got Hot Topic Monday. Hot Topic Monday, we're going to discuss all of the topics that we done missed since, we've been on vacation. Everybody had to take a hiatus because we have families too. So we're going to get into all of the nitty gritty. We're going to get into all of the hot topics, as it were. Yeah. So let's start off with something that we had not discussed or we may have previously touched on.
What's that?
This vaccination.
Listen,
These vaccines that they talking about. Since we've been on vacation, apparently 2 companies have come up with vaccines for the coronavirus. They are actively being pushed out into the country. People are taking these vaccinations.
mandatory.
And I have not heard of them being mandatory as of yet, but I do know that that it seems like there is a push to make these vaccinations mandatory.
Yeah,
now,
for people who have a 9 to 5.
I myself personally, I'm not a medical professional. I can't tell you what to do with your health. I can tell you this though, Cody won't be taking nobody vaccination. You ain't gonna be vaccinating me nothing. I'm okay. I'm not catching COVID. I claim it in the name of the Most High, and that's about all I need.
But
and my mask.
If you catch it, you got the antibodies. So
yeah, something.
It's not. If your body healthy enough, I don't know, but 9 out of 10 when a vaccine or any type of sickness is out, once you have it, your body gain your white blood cells go in to attack it. It learns how to attack it. So most of the time, they just started this vaccine stuff, put a small dose in.
Well,
I ain't rocking with it.
One thing for me to chime in on it, like I'm a big time, health person when it comes down to just focusing on, just protecting yourself by using preventative measures. When you do preventative maintenance, it becomes a lot easier just to actually stay healthy versus someone that's just out and about, just not really taking in the thought of like what could possibly happen. And so when you think about preventative maintenance, it comes down to it. A lot of people don't value the quality of sleep that they need. They don't value the diet. They don't really focus in on just getting healthy, And the main thing is, if you look at all the numbers and all the data, the people that are the people that are healthy, the people that are actually active and take care of stuff, the people that are, that engage in some type of form of like physical activity, people that are eating a healthy diet, those are the people that really haven't been susceptible to, the issues with COVID. And now when it comes down to vaccinations, I'm anti-vaccine, but like my shirt says, I prefer plants over prescriptions, and that's the whole thing. You want to move forward and understand like the best way to maintain your health is by using preventative maintenance, and that's by just consuming a balanced diet, making sure that you're consuming things that you're able to help boost your immune system with, and those things are really, really important. When we think about, our immune system now, it's just been really, the light has been shined on it because this is a virus that's been hitting us so hard. So now it's like, hey, I got to boost my immune system. Everyone has to really like go back to the drawing board and understand, okay, how do I do this? Or what steps do I need to take to make sure that I'm healthy? And it's really just the basics. Watch what you're consuming, understanding nutrition, understanding how or what foods, how they interact with your body, because everything that we eat, it has a reaction in our body, whether we see it or not. So it's making sure that you're consuming healthier foods, mainly fruits and vegetables, and just making sure that you're not putting yourself in harm's way and you're able to maneuver the way you need to maneuver, the way you're not focused or worried about COVID.
Right. So basically what you're saying is you prefer vegetables over vaccinations.
Exactly. Listen,
okay.
Food is medicine. Food is medicine. It's as simple as that. And once we understand the correlation between diseases and the food that we eat, then the picture will slowly get painted for us. Like you really have to understand like how things that you eat contribute to how you feel on a day-to-day basis. So if you're eating things and you're constantly being, sluggish or fatigued, or like, you're not, even if you have suffering from anxiety and things like that, when you correct your diet and pull things out, things that are detrimental to your health, you not only removing unhealthy things, but you start to feel better. And once you start to feel better, you're able to start doing things that are actually more aligned with the way that you should be doing things.
Right.
So basically, what you're saying is you prefer fruits over foolishness.
It's as simple as that.
Boy, let's get some of this down. We need to get some t-shirts out here. You heard me? I like that Plants Over Prescriptions t-shirt. Is that available for sale on the website?
No, this is a limited edition item right here, man.
Okay. Couture fashion. I got you. Yeah, man. I myself personally, I'm not rocking with no vaccinations. First of all, I look at everything in the vacuum, so I know how long it takes to develop a vaccine. And you're not gonna tell me that y'all somehow cut off all of this time that it takes to develop something that if you put in your body, like I've seen people and heard of people that have died after this vaccination. I've heard of people that have still caught in COVID even though they had the vaccination. I'm not going for it. I feel like you ain't gonna get me to do it. Like I say, I personally, and it's something that I need to work on, but I don't go to the hospital doctors like that.
Keep taking preventative measures,
Right.
and keep wearing your mask. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie.
And
I'm
I'm
still got hand sanitizer.
One of the main things that kind of threw me in the loop when I first saw how fast they were pushing this vaccination, I was like, whoa, man, that's crazy. This vaccine is moving faster than any other vaccine that I've ever seen. And so the thing is, I was actually doing some studying about the Tuskegee experiment. I'm pretty sure we heard a little bit about the Tuskegee experiment.
Yeah.
Right.
And it makes you think like, yo, man, like, this experiment, I think it was the 1920s, 1930s, where they actually did this experiment where they just, they lined up black men with the promise of health care. And, they promised them all these great things, all this medical attention, all this health care, the new advances and all these things. But really, it was a test study to see how syphilis reacted in the community. And what happened was they treated these people and they gave them mock medicines. They gave them placebos. They gave them different things to make them think that they were treating the issues that they were having. But it was a study. It was a case study. They were trying to understand how does this virus react in the body. And in turn, it gave like a lot of trauma to a whole generation. And when you think about that type of trauma, look, I took into some of the words that you just said, and I personally feel the same way also. And I ain't going to no doctor when it comes down to certain things like that. Like, and that makes you think about like some of the issues. And when you look at it now, black men are some of the men that just don't go to the hospital. They take them to actually be broken up and bleeding out before they actually want to go and see a doctor to get it fixed. And I think some of that generational trauma coming back from the Tuskegee experiment carried over, because I'm pretty sure them granddads told their grandkids like, "Hey, don't go to the doctor.
Ain't going no doctor.
They injected me with some stuff, and now I'm reacting." And them grandkids saw that, and they're like, "I ain't going to the doctor." They told their kids, "They ain't going to the doctor," until you get to the point with me, where it took me to actually become a health professional, the way I understand that how to take care of myself, and then go to the doctor, because it's part of physical wellness. Also, you have to go to the doctor, but you really have to be able to diagnose at some point, like, "Hey, my life is at stake. I need to take the steps that I need to take." And I need to understand exactly what I'm doing. And when it comes down to vaccinations, like, you have to understand, it's your livelihood that could possibly be affected. So I'm not saying not to, but understand, the ins and outs and what's at risk.
Right.
Yeah, and you know what? And see, so this is such a big issue in our community, and it's because of the things that you just said. Like, one of the prime examples is the Tuskegee experiments. I mean, but before the Tuskegee experiments, man, black people have always been experimented on and have always been tortured at the hands of medical professionals in a quest to find out why we the fastest, why we the strongest, why my 300 pounds don't look like your 300 pounds. So all of those seeds, I'll be honest, because even me right now, I'm 300 pounds. I'm not in the NFL. I don't work out every day. Yeah. I mean, I'm a football coach, and that's during football season. But my 300 pounds look a lot different from my Anglo-Saxon's 300 pounds. For an Anglo-Saxon to be 300 pounds and look the way I do, he must be work out every day. And he's one of them bodybuilders or one of them world's strongest men guys.
Yeah.
Versus me, I don't do none of that, and I don't have a horrible structure. So even just my structure alone is a marvel to the medical community. So they want to experiment. And those seeds that they've sown of distrust in our community has led us to not trust what they say, to not trust a vaccine that came out over the course of 1 year when it traditionally takes 5 to 10 years to develop these vaccines, right? I mean, if I'm correct, it takes like years to get to.
I was thinking more about like the way technology have grew, everything grew. I ain't gonna say go take the vaccine. I ain't agreeing to that. But I'm just saying,
well, I mean,
things moving a whole lot faster now.
But see, even then, like we can't even trust technology, and I can give you prime examples about trusting technology. We trust in technology, and we go to these places. It's just like Walmart. You go to Walmart, and they got all the self-checkout lanes. If you go to the Walmart right here on 441, they got more self-checkout lanes than they actually have people checking you out and your groceries. First of all, not only did I pay for the groceries, me paying for my groceries also pays for my service. I need you to bag that because I paid for it. That's why I came here. If that's the case, if I want to bag my own shit, I could just steal and walk out. So that's one. But then two, look at that same technology. Look how many people lose their jobs in lieu of technology. Remember when being a garbage man was a good job? It was a good profession. You had two guys on the back of the garbage truck. You had a driver. That were 3-4 guys employed. That garbage man, he was able to provide for his family. What has technology done? Oh, we only need a driver. We need a driver. Maybe we need a spotter. Most of the time, them boys be driving by themselves. So I can't even lean with the guys of a technology becoming so advanced that it's easier and it's quicker for them to create these types of things. Some stuff, yeah. Hey, listen, I don't want that carrot that's grown in a week. My man could tell you about them carrots that's grown in 2 weeks because that's not the natural process of life. Okay.
When you look at technology, though, man, technology is like a gift and a curse. Like in my opinion, like because there's a lot of great things that come with technology, but then, like you said, the employment and unemployment things like that's affected also. But as people, we got to look at everything as a whole. You know, technology is a great thing. It can be good in a lot of areas. It can be bad in different ways when it comes to like in different areas. But the thing is, it's like when you look at it. You gotta take responsibility for yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you take responsibility for yourself and you develop your intellect to actually be able to keep up with what's going on, because the new iPhone come out, we could grab that phone and we learn it and do all these great things with it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to shift that focus into different lanes. So let's say technology did come by and you work at a plant and they've got a new robot that does twice the work for a quarter of the cost and you lose your job. You got to use your mind and be able to actually, maneuver yourself through that situation. Right. So that's why you got to really focus on intellectual wellness and continue to keep yourself open. You got to be able to be a lifelong learner to be able to understand different things as it comes to you. So if you're open to learning different things, to gaining new experiences, you're actually in a position to actually just be open and take things in as it comes. Because a person that's open, things are going to come to them. A person that's trying different things are going to come to them. So that things come to people that's open to receive, and those type of opportunities are shut off if you're like shut down and not hip to the game. So I embrace technology as it comes, but I know that technology, you can't allow technology to be the death of you.
Right. And I think that's the biggest thing. I personally can't live without my cell phone. Anybody who knows me knows this. Anybody who knows me knows that there's not a time when I'm in the streets that my phone is dead. If I ain't answer, it's because my phone broke. Because most of the time I have my phone. I can't live without my phone. Okay.
That ain't why you ain't answer. Yeah, you just say answer. You just say answer.
It gotta be, because if it's not, then I got it.
Call you 30 times and the phone ain't get picked up.
Oh, brother,
right in your head.
Listen, I ain't gonna cap. I be sleep too. Y'all gotta forgive me. I'm old, so I be getting my sleep in. Listen. But I love technology, man. I think that it's great. I think that like you say, technology is a gift and a curse, because with the technological advancement, we get safer cars and we get safer everything. And that's cool. But what I also toe the line with technology is that I also know that people are making the push to replace people with technology. And I think that with anything that we do,
I think when technology hit, it made us multimillionaires faster, more rapider.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
like I say,
So, but-
technology is great. I'm not
But-
saying that it's not, but what I'm saying is, as good as technology is, we also need to realize that technology can't replace everything. Technology cannot replace that human interaction. So
Right.
if you go to Publix, you ever notice that Publix don't have self-checkout lanes? You know why? Because Publix feel as if the experience is the human interaction. When you go up to that lane and the lady say hi,
I realized that.
you know what I'm
I
saying?
realized that the other day.
He. And if you
I
go to
realized
Publix
that.
versus going to
And
Walmart,
that-
you'll see how different you treat it.
That shows the value and the value of what companies believe in. You know, Publix is at that place right now to where they can do those things. And I'm a consistent shopper at Publix, and I enjoy seeing somebody at the checkout line every
You
time.
see what I'm
Like,
saying? But like you peep how different it be.
Right.
Like when you go to a Walmart and you going, it's so transactional. You're not having an experience,
Yeah.
and that's why Publix has purposely not gotten as big as they could have. Publix could have been on across the United States at this point, but Publix also realized that the bigger you are, the more you sacrifice in customer service, and you can tell from when you go in Walmart or when you go in Publix what customer service actually looks like. And now it's a couple
Yeah,
of
it's a
Publix
different-
except
yeah,
you know, there's one Publix in particular I call the nigga Publix, okay? Because they be in
Come on, man.
You ask people, let me tell
Hey,
you.
don't do that.
Let me
Don't
tell
do
you.
that.
No, let me tell y'all. Let me
Stop
tell y'all the
doing
secret.
that.
Let me tell y'all.
Hey,
the
be
secret.
throwing. We got to do better than throw a book bag right on our back.
Listen,
Hey, you know what I'm saying? The nigga Publix. Come on, man.
listen.
No,
I'm
man.
telling you.
No,
I'm gonna give y'all a little secret.
no,
man.
man.
At Publix, let me tell y'all something. At Publix, no one that works at Publix should ever point you in the direction of something that you need. So if you ever go to Publix, when you ask for, sir, where can I
he
find
gotta walk
birthday
you over,
candle?
Gotta walk you over there.
that person is supposed to walk you to what you looking for. That's a part of the customer service experience. So this one particular Publix, they be like, it's over there. It's back there. So that's why I call it the less than desirable Publix. You know, but it's all in the vacuum, man. But
Come here,
you know,
guys.
as far coming son.
Don't worry about
But yeah, as far as man, technology, that vaccine stuff, man, I ain't going for it. I ain't rocking with it. If my job was to tell me that vaccine was mandatory for me to continue to work, then hey, man, there's some principles I stand on.
I
And
think
that's a principle I stand on. I ain't taking it.
I think this year I realized like 9 to 5 is not it. It didn't I kept sitting around. I sit around this right now I'm working a nightclub, so I'm doing like, you know, I'm doing security at events. And I met a young lady the other day, Yasmin. She come out.
Talking about Yasmin Sullivan?
Nah, she
Okay,
come
I'm about to say that's
out.
my baby.
She come out and pit Sterno's food up, whatever. And she got her own business little sign where you could go to her. What you call it? She said she been doing this. She been doing that since COVID hit. She lost her job, but she been cooking. So she doing that since COVID hit. She said she don't think she going back to a 9 to 5.
Right. And you know,
She
and
said she made 500 a night.
And you know, that's one of the beautiful things about 2020, man. 2020 was a glorious year
Right.
in a lot of bad ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me
Right.
wrong. Like 2020 hit a lot of people really, really hard.
Right.
But the people that was out there with their back against the wall, the people that was grinders, the people that was focused, the people that was preparing for situations like this, those are the people that you see thriving right now. Those are the people you see developing businesses right now.
Right.
Those are the people that you know
Right.
you can't get in touch with at this moment right now because they was prepared to take a step and a leap in faith to get some things done. Those
Right.
people that lost their job, that had a business plan in their head, all that time when we were quarantined and had to be in the house and sitting still, those are the people that was actually picking up a book, reading something, getting some information, working things out, writing it down, and connecting, you know.
Right.
And that's the thing, you know, 2020 hit a lot of people, and a lot of people, you know, they relaxed, they partied, they drank, they, you know, they just engaging socially with their friends and families. And you know, and other people, other individuals, you know, they took it as a chance. Like, I really have time to stop and not work and focus on something else outside of my 9 to 5. And those are people that just started hustling, man. And hats off to those people, man, because like it takes guts like that. And then to dive into something with the whole pandemic happening, yo, it's life changing, and those people are experieing some
Well,
great things. So I'm
They
glad to hear that
experiencing great,
you
man.
decided to moving to entrepreneurship and,
Yeah,
and
man.
moving now.
And you know what? That's big what you just said, because 2020 did. I think 20. We're gonna call 2020 the year of the Jouet. Okay. But for the people who did it the correct way, 2020 brought a whole bunch of challenges that now we're starting to see. My caveat to that is that we all can't be entrepreneurs, of course.
Right.
You know, we need people that work for other people.
Right.
But there is a segment of the community, there is a segment of the people who can't work for anybody else. In my experience, I've learned that the best way for me to go is probably have my own. Because I don't really jive well with I don't really jive well with what's going on right now in mainstream America. But 2020 did teach us that, you know, we got to make a way. Right. And we got to build this generational wealth, because while we was out here struggling and we were out here, you know, clapping our hands and stumping our feet by $600, you get what I'm saying? Them people who already had the opportunity to build that generational wealth, that 600 that we getting, they getting 6 million. They getting 16 million. They getting 60 million. So 2020 has taught us
the business the guy shut down. He shut it down like 2 months before the COVID hit, and then blamed it on COVID. 120 employees.
That's a loophole, man.
And turned around and they gave him a $50 million check.
And guess what? And that $50 million, that's our money. We are. It's just that we can't, you know. We got to go about doing it the right way, y'all. We can't be out here sweating forever, okay?
He reinvested. He got in trouble, but
yeah, you know what I'm saying? We can't be out here sweating forever, but you know, let's 2020 has taught us the lessons that's gonna carry us through 2021. And if you remember anything from 2020, you remember that life is precious. Nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. Right. That health is wealth. And that you got to go out here and you got to get it for yourself, because ain't nobody handing you nothing. And I don't traditionally have that attitude, because I understand that we all need some help. Right. But like I say, one thing I think is a combination of 2020 plus the Trump presidency plus
the COVID,
like all of that has been a mixture.
I think everybody this year has had somebody control their funds. That's what I mean by that is this, not the people that that know something that we don't know, but I'm talking about the people that actually go to the 9-to-5, depend on their 9-to-5, come home, just be with their family, go back to work, and they do that every day, and they do their other activities, but they mainly depend on their 9-to-5 to take care of home.
And we need them people.
And but what I'm saying is, what they have realized is I don't know if they seen it, but how the government controlled everybody's funds this year. And not only funds, we had more deaths than ever, and they blame more so of natural causes or somebody dying from a different sickness on COVID. Moment of silence to all those who actually lost somebody too.
Yeah, man. And I get what you're saying. And that just brings me back to what I was originally saying as far as the people. We need people. Like, you got to think about it. No nurse owns a hospital. But if those nurses all decide to quote unquote go into private practice, then what would our hospitals be? So we need them 9-to-5ers, boy. We need y'all like we need water.
I don't got no problem with it, but
I think also is like, a lot of people, hopefully they were able to see how things can possibly happen, because to be honest, I don't think it got as bad as it possibly could have gotten when it came to COVID and, everybody being out of work and things like that. They actually still had what were they calling them? Essential workers out and about. And luckily, like, I think African Americans make up like 60-70% of essential workers. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's one of the reasons why African Americans were, exposed to COVID and like higher rates, because they're essential workers. They got to be out there. They got to go to the grocery store. They got to drive the buses. They got to do those things. Those are essential workers. And us as African Americans, we make up a large portion of that group. And the thing is, it's like, if you did suffer from COVID or, you had to take time off, this should be a life-altering experience to where that you would never be in this position again. Like, even if it was something where you just didn't have time, or you didn't save up money, or you didn't, you wasn't able to prepare yourself for something like this. By experiencing COVID, you were actually able to like
Right.
see that hey, it can get bad, it can get ugly, it can
Real
get a
bad.
lot worse, and you know that's the sign that you needed to actually build that savings up, get healthy, take the time and work out, you know, do all the things that you need to do to put yourself and your family in a better position. Because what to say 2021 is not going to go to crap just like 2020 did. Look at what just happened in DC.
Yep. I mean, and you know what, and that's very important to note. So it could have been a lot worse. I also think that it could have been a lot better. And I think that it has gotten to this point because of the horrible leadership that we had. I think that if this was an Obama administration, if this was a Clinton administration, I think that if it was a different administration, I think that the results would have been different. And I think that we could see small sample sizes of that. If you look at some of the things that the Obama administration went through, swine flu, you know, H1N1, these things could have gotten horribly out of control, but because of the administration and the people who are tasked with making sure it doesn't, these people are actually qualified to do their job. Now, you know, you got Trump, and the Health and Human Services is ran by the goddamn car salesman that sold him his last limo.
But generation repeats itself. If y'all go back in generation, we was due for economic disaster because we had the house crash in 2008. 10 years from that, you go 10 years prior to that, 2010, we had the Twin Towers falling. It's
2001.
That was 2001. Okay, and then it goes back into 2000. We had what we was at 19, 8 years. Every 8 years, it got a cycle.
Something gotta happen.
It got a cycle for
wouldn't-
the market to crash, something to crash, because
What?
the wealthy will outgrow.
I wouldn't necessarily say that the Obama administration would have handled it a lot better, because when I look at things, I try to look through it through a different paradigm. And the main way that I want to see things is that people themselves do the things that they need to do to actually maintain their health, you know, because watching COVID affect all these people with all these chronic diseases and chronic issues, that should show people the light should come on somewhere to, hey, I need to get healthier. I need to start taking better care of myself. I don't want to like any of these underlying conditions to play a role in my demise when it comes to COVID. So, you know, like even with the Obama administration, the obesity rates, the health issues, the whole health system was in shambles. It was crap. It was just overwhelmed, didn't work right. When you look at everything that's happening, like it was due for this. You know, America is a country where like 80% of the people are either overweight or obese. And you know, those things are happening because we're not understanding like nutrition and our lifestyles. And what happens is, as these things continue to spiral out of control, something as simple as COVID can come and tear down the whole infrastructure of a country. Because if you look at the percentages when you of COVID, I think it's like 1.7%. It's the mortality rate.
Yeah.
So it's like, 1.7%. That's like, that's a low number. But when it's something so drastic as COVID that's wiping people out, and something that can be taken care of in certain ways by following procedures or living a healthy lifestyle,
Right.
like people don't need to die. So, it's a lot more to it. And the Obama administration would probably have handled it a little bit better, but the shoes would have been the same on all Americans. We got to get healthier. We got to take care of ourselves, and we got to focus on wellness.
Well, I mean,
Let's go.
that's true.
Definitely.
Now, what I would say about the Obama administration, especially when you talk about healthcare during that time, I think that we also have to bring up those extenuating circumstances, like that shit stain named Mitch McConnell, and their unwillingness to move forward with healthcare. Because if you look at it, see, it's just like Florida. I used to give people this example because I used to hear people, Obama this and Obama that, and this didn't work and that didn't work.
Right.
Let's say if I call the governor of Florida, which this is actually what happened. I call the governor of Florida. I say, hey, I got a new program to get you started. I'm about to send you $20 billion. I'm gonna send you the $20 billion to get y'all started in the program. Woody woo. That's gonna help your people. If the governor of Florida say, nah, fam, keep your 20, we don't want it. Is that Obama's administration messing up healthcare, or is it at the individual state? If the individual state that we needed to buy in so that we could supply a robust healthcare system, they're simply not doing it because of political ideology. So I think that had a lot to do with it, because I mean, honestly, I think Obama had enough cachet and enough gumption to shut this country down for 30 days. And if we would have shut the country down for 30 days, we would have been far beyond where we are with this virus. Because if you look at the virus, the incubation period was only 14 days. So if you had 2 periods of 14 days apiece, everybody who had it should have technically been able to get rid of it within the two spans of 14 days. I think that his administration would have been more serious about that. Because if you look at the amount of money that we've spent so far, you can't tell me that we would have spent that much money if we would have just shut down for a month, for 30 days. You know, we wouldn't have spent nearly as much money as we have if we would have just shut down for 30 days.
But you got
everybody had one month.
You got to look at how it would have affected the population in the whole. Like, it's a lot of people right now that are struggling to get by, even with this 600 that just came. When you look at the eviction rate right now at this moment in Broward County, it's 3 times the normal rate at this moment. And that's because people just are not, they can't pay the bills. They can't get things done.
It's going higher than now.
And this was without a shutdown. Now, I'm still in limbo with shutting it down. When I look at health reasons, I'm like, yeah, probably shut it down. When you look at the economic reason, I'm like, some people can't make it to the end of the week with the food stamps, with the 600 stimulus, with their income that they're getting from the job that they just started about working to a couple months ago. So it's a hit or miss. It can go either way. But I do agree that the Obama administration would have been able to pull the plug and make some of them tough decisions and find a way through it versus, you know, just standing back and denying this exists like Trump did and wait until it's boom, smack dab in our face to actually do something about it. Right. That delay is costing us a lot more than say it would have cost if something would have happened.
And then not only that, but so yeah, you can't just snap your fingers and shut the country down. There has to be safeguards in place. So imagine the amount of time that landlords specifically has gone without rent payments. I work in housing, so I kind of have more of an insight than some other people may. But if you look at the amount of time that a lot of landlords has gone without a single rent payment, I've heard of landlords saying the tenants haven't paid rent since the pandemic started back in March, right? So if you look at these costs are mitigated when we simply create the program and structure. So of course, all right, 30 days, everybody needs a 30-day supply of food. 30 days, no utilities are allowed to be collected, no rent is allowed to be collected, but that extends up. So the same way I don't have to pay my rent, man, he don't have to pay his mortgage company. The mortgage company come to us, we reimburse the mortgage company for the money that they're missing. We still was spending this money regardless. So if we look at the amount of money we spent, we probably would have done a lot better creating a quick program that could have gotten us out of this hole in 30 days and gotten us at least back to some type of normalcy. Right. That's what I mean. I mean, no one thing was going to fix this issue, but I definitely think the leadership is a key differential when you talk about the previous administration versus the present administration and even the future administration. Because leadership is Obama standing there telling you, hey, you need to wear your mask. It is very important that you wear your mask. Not, wearing a mask. You see what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch that goes into it's
having
not
a
just
whole
the hard
event
decisions.
where it ain't no mask.
It's how people take you. You know, I look at this clown and I don't take this clown serious. Like I really don't. He say something and it's in one ear and out the other. But that makes a difference because I am still aware and I still know that I need to put on my mask. They hit that redneck from West Virginia. He heard, oh yeah, Trump right, everybody else wrong. So that's the response was important when you talk about leadership as well as a plan of action. And I think that a better plan of action, a better leader, and we could have very well been out of this situation a lot quicker than what we were. Instead, we still have shutdowns. I just came from Colorado not 2 weeks ago, and they are shut down. Did not have a great time. Can't go out to no restaurants. It was a problem. So
it was crazy.
yeah, I mean, but you know that was one thing. Also, I need everybody to stand up. Could everybody stand up for a second, please? Can everybody stand up? Stand up like that. Come on, stand up like that. Stand up like that. Listen. We here at Man Talk Monday would like to send a very, 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 very special shout out to the whole state of Georgia. The whole state of Georgia.
Oh yeah,
y'all did y'all job. Y'all did y'all job. If that's not a hot topic, I don't know what is. The whole state of Georgia, man, y'all came, y'all showed up, and y'all showed out. Not one time, but twice. but twice. But twice. Definitely got to show love with the state of Georgia, man. Y'all did y'all thing.
We got both Senate seats in Georgia, right?
Yep.
Okay.
John Oscoff won. Raphael Warnock, he won. The margins of error is slim enough to request a recount. I don't think any of those candidates are actually going to do so, just because of what's been going on with Trump. Is a whole bunch. So at this time, it basically we're gonna cut our losses type vibe. But man, the state of Georgia, man, y'all already showed up and y'all showed out, and it shows the power of the people. And when I say the people, I mean our people. A lot of times, and because of history, a lot of our ancestors, a lot of our elders have gotten in their mind that voting does not work. And I generally understand the feeling in that. I get where they come from with that, but I think what Georgia did, along with the rest of the country, because it couldn't have been possible without all hands on deck. But I think what Georgia did was show that we can change things,
right,
if we put in the work ourselves too.
And that felony law changed a lot. You're talking about a lot of people coming home from out of prison and that not knowing, like 30 years that went past, they don't know what voting is. Now they get their first time to go up in there, know what he finna do, what this for and that's for, and why I need to vote for this. And it's different, you know what I'm saying? So that changed the game back in what, that was 2018 they did that?
I'm not sure what year.
Yeah, I mean, it was in preparation. I think 2018, what a lot of states did was a lot of states passed legislation as far as felons being able to vote.
Right.
And it was all in preparation for 2020 because we knew that we needed to make sure that this guy was a one-time president. It was so, listen, y'all don't understand, man, how important it is, because you got to think about it. On the world stage, regardless as to how any of us feel about America and how it has treated us or our people, regardless as to that, on the world stage, America is the beacon of light for this world. American is the beacon of hope. Other countries look to America for strength. This guy was destroying that reputation. And it's so important because as long as people are scared to try you, you won't ever get tried. But once people lose that fear, it's up there. How them young people say it's up there. It was starting to get to a point where it was about to be up there. I honestly thought that Iran, Russia, China, and North Korea, I thought that they would actually form an alliance specifically to attack America.
Nah,
listen. It could happen. I don't know what people thinking, and I know that we think that America is such this big, strong country. Woo, woo, woo. But y'all better realize something.
Man.
We soft.
Hey, my thing is, if I was Russia or China or North Korea, I would do exactly what they're doing now. Sit back and watch America destroy itself, man. Look what's going on, man. Like when I turned on my phone one day and I saw all this stuff happening at the Capitol. I'm like, what is this? I didn't even process like something's going on in the nation's capital. So I kept on without my day. Like
Capitol got breached.
Like crazy. This doesn't happen in America.
I'm trying to show
you.
you.
Don't storm a government Capitol building and
take
over. Like,
you talking about a government facility in which Secret Service, U.S. Marshal, FBI, and the military operate on.
Listen,
you are not listen. When you go to Washington, you think about it. You can't go in the
This-
White House like that. You can't go, man. You been getting shot down.
This stuff don't even happen on the movies like that, man.
You
And
know,
it's-
listen, but it what's so crazy is that when I seen that, first of all, and this is why me and my partner, me and CEO E, was talking about this the other day, and I was telling him that I honestly feel like black people that we evolved from like dolphins or some shit like that, whereas Anglo-Saxons evolved from monkeys, because it's like every black person, no matter where you is, no matter where you was, unless you was a bootlicking Uncle Tom Coon, every black person said the same thing at the same time. Damn, if that was black people, we would have been shot. And it's that type of telepathy where we all think, me and you, we could be sitting right here and all three of us could see the same thing and we could look at each other and know exactly what each other thinking about that. See what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy to think of it, and I don't know why I just said that, but I think that when I seen the Capitol, that situation that happened at the Capitol, the only thing that I could say in my mind was, man, if it was brothers out there peacefully marching, them niggas had been shot down. Them niggas got shot.
I agree. Things would have shaped a whole lot different then. But the main thing is, it's like when I look at this when I saw it on my phone, it really stopped my day to where I had to really like analyze, okay, how serious is this? Like, then I started seeing, then all the reports coming out, because you know, one thing that I noticed, you can see all these things on TV and you know, you see it on the news and they're telling you this and it's going across social media.
Right.
The news has never been directly honest with us about what's actually happening. We can all agree on that. We've all seen crazy things and didn't get the true story. So my whole thing was, okay, I need to sit back and watch this and analyze how this playing out. What's really going on? Then I started seeing people died out there, and they was serious about their approach. It was a guy running around in there in all black with like a plastic handcuff.
Yeah, with the twist ties.
With the twist ties. I'm like, yo, he was going in there to body somebody. Like he was going in there to handle his business.
From what I heard, it was supposed to be a plot to kidnap the vice president.
Right, and that's crazy.
That day, yeah, because this is the most
crazy.
important thing that I think a lot of people don't know and don't realize.
Crazy. The
How
president
this
was in there.
government- huh?
The vice president was
Yeah,
in there.
Pence was in there.
He's
Pence
the
was in
head
there.
of he's the head of the Senate.
Wow,
So
he was in there at the time.
He was the one who announced the votes.
Yep.
So now what a lot of people don't really realize is this country is set up in a way to have safeguards against tyranny like that. So that the actual process of counting those electoral votes, as far as the Senate and the House together doing it as a collective body, is more tradition than something that actually needs to happen to certify an election. Like we don't actually need the process to certify. It's just something that's tradition, so they want to do it. But it's more political fodder than anything. So you don't have to really worry about somebody overthrowing this country by storming a Capitol building. Honestly, had it been any other people outside of Anglo-Saxon Americans, and that shit would have been over real quick. Because all it would have been is 4 or 5 of them snipers would have started tapping people in the motherfucking forehead, and then people would have started backing up. Like once you see the first 2-3 people get shot, you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna wait until next week to come back. And that's how that actually would have gone had it been anybody else outside of Anglo-Saxons. Now, the Anglo-Saxons did it, so they let them have their free reign. But if you think about it, what could they really have done getting in the Capitol building? Destroy property, man. If you ever been to the Capitol building, man, there's so many ways to get around that they wouldn't have really caught nobody that they would have been able to force to do anything. We already know that when you join in these government jobs, when you become a senator, when you become, a part of that presidential cabinet, it's with the understanding that if anything happens, you will die before you give up anything.
Now think of this though. Imagine if they did get a hold of somebody. Imagine if they did get a hold of Pence or make some demands that they wanted. Right now, all eyes will be on America. And you know what type of situation we'll be in? We would be in the 9/11 style situation all over again. Money will start falling, stocks crashing, everything going down because we got a mob of individuals that came into the Capitol building and took hold of our whole government. So when you see something like this take place on our TVs, we really have to take a step back in our own selves and see, hey, are we prepared for 9/11 all over again on a different level? Are we prepared for a crash in the
Again?
mix of
Period.
COVID? Things like that. All those things have to be factored in.
Yeah,
Factored
but
in.
so like even with that, right? Let's say if they would have got the vice president. First of all,
Everything changes.
not really.
Yeah.
Even if they would have got the president, so the process would have been as soon as they had got a president, the cabinet of the cabinet of the president would have invoked the 25th Amendment, the clause 4 and the 25th Amendment to remove all power from him, and that power is a trickle down. If they would have got the president, the power would have went to vice president.
now-
If they had got the vice president, it goes to the speaker of the
Now,
house.
look at the message that sends throughout America. That message is like America is no longer in control of its
Right.
citizens and what's going on.
Right.
Everything changes. Like people will stop going to work. They can't go to work because they got to focus on their family now. The whole economy will basically start the bubble, and at some point it will actually burst and everything will fall apart. So as people, like, we have to be on top of our own personal interests. We have to really understand what's our financial situation, what's our physical situation, what's our situation when it comes to protecting ourselves. We really have to understand, like, yo, this could be a domino effect. Me personally, I think this breach of the Capitol was just the beginning of something. You don't go and raid a Capitol and all of a sudden that was your last hoorah. No, you're coming again.
Right.
I think Biden's going to have a lot of different type of disruptions throughout his whole campaign as president. He's going to have issues, and these are the things that are going to be in the forefront that he has to deal with, because this doesn't go away. Those 5 people that was murdered there at the Capitol or killed in the mix of that just doesn't disappear. So as individuals, you have to really step back and evaluate your own personal situation. Are you prepared for this country to actually have a civil war in the mix of itself? You really have to understand that this changes everything. We really have to see everything through from every angle. You have to see it through the guys that breached the Capitol. You got to see it through the guys that was hightailing out of the Capitol. You know what I'm saying? So it's really you got to look at it from all angles. And that people, specifically African American people, we like the memes. We think it's funny. We know if it was us, it would have been different. And we know we kiki, like, yeah, Americans, they're killing themselves and they're tearing this up down. So the thing is, like, yo, I get it. It is interesting to see. It is television. It is entertainment. But now, what are you going to do for yourself as a response to what's taking place in your nation's capital? Yeah, that might not be your president, but right now, he's the guy that's in charge of everything that's taking place, and this is going to affect you. And the toughest part about it is everything starts to change, because now with the breach of the Capitol like that, laws have to change. Everything has to be looked into. So we really have to understand that, hey, this is a lot bigger than just, a breach of the Capitol and it's going to fade away overnight. This is going to hit us hard. Us, our children, and our children's children are going to feel this as it plays out.
So, and I'm sorry, Ms. Ross is such a lovely host. She got us something to drink, child. We was trying to figure out we needed ice or not. But no. So and I get what you're saying in principle, but I think that from all that I've seen and from all that I know, I don't think it's because we are still the world's preeminent superpower. So let's not make a mistake about that. At any given time, if we wanted to, it could go down.
Last day in the chill.
The 19th.
The 19th.
We ain't gonna be able to do nothing before the 19th. He can't declare war without the approval of Congress. He can't do. I mean, it's so much. And then not only that, but he's really put himself in the corner to where people won't even take him serious. So that, but I mean, I think that as it pertains to our country, because this is our country, whether we like it or not, like you say, it's our country. I think that we are still the world's preeminent superpower. I think that, like I say, the succession plan for anything that happens is in a way to stop things from happening. Like, because if you notice, traditionally, none of the people that are in the succession of power are ever in the same room together, and there's a reason for that. So just like I said, let's say if Kelly, if you was the president and you was the vice president and I was the Speaker of the House, if they got Kelly, they're cool because it's just gonna transfer to you. And if they got you and Kelly together, that's fine too, because then it's gonna transfer to me. And you know, once it transfer to me, I'm dropping the bomb on the board. Hey, boy, drop that like it's hot. You heard me? Because it's up there. So it goes like that. So I don't really foresee it to be such a huge issue. I definitely think that we have to curtail the violence that is coming from these radical right-wing movements, because at some point it is gonna be where we're not gonna take it. And I don't know who else gonna take it, but I know one thing: I don't never see the KKK or the Proud Boys, or I don't never see them marching through Ovalaka, and I ain't never seen them march through the projects. So clearly, there's a certain level of fear of what's to come if you get too deep into that city and you bothering the wrong people, and they know that, and we know that. So they're gonna disrupt the people that they can, and if we look at what happened in the Capitol.
There's another thing. It's just time to start teaching our kids about firearms.
Yeah,
early and now.
Yeah, I personally think that every citizen, every African American citizen, I should say, that legally can do so, should acquire a firearm. And if you can't legally acquire one, then hey, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but you need to be able to protect yourself. Wink, wink. Okay. Because you never know what's going on, man. You don't know what this life has in store. Listen. And people, bro, you go to certain places, man. I've been in certain places, and I could recall going to a football game, and I'm a coach at this football game. And the team that we were playing decided they didn't want to play because they felt as if my team was too big or whatever. And this white woman, she told me, because it was a heated situation. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I wasn't mad, because we just spent $1,600 to do that. So I was pretty upset, and but I really wanted to speak to the coach. I didn't want to really speak to her. I wanted to speak to the coach. And that white woman told me she'll put me back in the fields. So now you see how y'all brought raised? Listen, Kelly, if you was down, and if listen, suffice to say, it was going down. Right. So in those type of situations, man, you never know. And you always need to be able to protect yourself, because I'm one of these people. I'm one of the people that believe in being judged by 12 versus being carried by 6. Because I can always call you from prison. I can't call you from heaven. Or I can't call you from hell, depending on how bad I've been in my life. So, it's very important, man, that you be able to protect yourself. Now, that don't mean that you go out there starting with people because you got a gun. Because we see that we oftentimes see that in our community. We see these young punks that get these guns, and all of a sudden they the toughest guys in the world. Yeah, but they don't go out there and fight for their community. They fight to tear down their community. It's like a race to see who's gonna tear it down the fastest.
And I that's one thing that I look at when you see movements like what took place in the Capitol building. When you look at something like that happen, those people went there willing to lay their life on the line for Trump and what they believe in. And for them to be able to do that, like, they live in that life. They believe in what Trump said. They flew from all over the country just to be there at that moment to take part of like this historic moment.
But you know how that ended up happening though, right? Because the most of the people that were there was a very minimal intelligence. People who are intelligent the people who think wasn't going for all that. You're not going to do that.
But you gotta look at every type of movement. Look at military. You send the soldiers first. You send the army first before you send the real guys. Before you send the Marines. The army, the ground troops go in first. Them the ground troops right there. So you got the guys that really constructed this plan, sitting back and watching and playing chess and making their moves. Because hear me out, like. Something else is going to happen from this situation. This will not be our last time talking about this Capitol situation. This is going to be a domino effect, and Joe Biden is going to have to deal with this consistently throughout his campaign.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think that he's not, but I think that, like I say, you say those are the foot soldiers. Yep. So if those are the foot soldiers, then I'm likening the Mitch McConnells, the senator, the Orrin Hatches, and all of these guys. I'm considering them I'm considering them the guys that's pulling the strings, right? See how quick they back down once America decided we ain't going for this shit. Now everybody who was on Trump's side, Senator Lindsey Graham, who was lockstep in this, the election was rigged. He look, you see what? Oh, he done went too far. I give up. It's not, but that's exactly what happened. So I think that we will outlast any of those movements just because we are unwilling to go back to where we were.
But we won't outlast the effects of those things. You know, it's a cause and effect with everything. So you got to look at it.
We will.
Everything changes. The next presidential election, it's going to have to reflect back to the 2020 election.
Right.
They won't let the same type of situation play out again. They cannot have the probability that if the election was possibly rigged or stolen from Trump even come up. So everything has to change. So now this cause and effect is going to have to carry on from this point. The election will never be the same in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
The next 4 years, the next 8, our kids, our grandkids, now they're going to have to deal with the consequences of a guy like Trump being in office and this type of activity that just took place at the Capitol.
But we look at cause and effect, and we look at that effect as being something negative when it may not actually be.
True.
So one of the effects of what they did was it did galvanize a lot of Americans because regardless as to how you feel about your politics, whether you're Republican or Democrat or independent or socialist or Green Party, whatever, we all could agree on simple principles. The man won. That's one. When you have, let's say 39% of Republicans believe that the election was rigged. That's 39% of Republicans versus the other 61% plus the other 100% of each other party that said that this election was fair and free. Another effect, because of what they did, I don't think that we will ever allow another authoritarian style leadership to the minute we see it, we're gonna point it out. So that cause and effect may not actually be the worst thing. We may have needed that so that these people can see that their actions are ludicrous. How they feel is silly because. So let's just. That's why I say we have to also break this situation down. The only states Trump felt like he was cheating in was states that he lost. But in those same states that he lost, Republican senators, Republican House of Representative members won. They all on the same ticket. So how did they cheat specifically to remove you, but none of the other Republicans that was on that ticket? You see what I'm saying? This is common sense. Right. So when people use common sense, then you say, okay, it wasn't rigged. He just lost. We know the man was going to lose. And like I say, cause and effect.
I ain't know
what
that.
They did.
I ain't know that. I was sweating. I ain't gonna lie.
Listen, man, listen, bro. I honestly felt in my heart it was no way that America was going to allow this shit to continue. Sure. Even if you like his policies, you could find another Republican that believes in the same policies. It is him and the type of man he is that is the problem, not his policy, because we always have policy disagreements. Republicans feel like it should be smaller government. Democrats feel like it should be bigger government. These ideologies are party specific, not person specific. So if you're a part of a party, you believe in the ideologies of that party, not the specific person that's running. You vote for that person because you feel like he's going to carry out the ideologies of the party that you belong to, which it could be any Republican. That's what all Republicans talk about. Smaller government, this and that. All Republicans talk about that. So it's not even about Trump. It was just he was the new shiny toy at the time. And that's how he got in. He got in because all the little boys and all the little girls seen a new toy on the shelf and wanted that new toy. They didn't want to play with the same toys they had. They wanted something new. Guess what? Goddamn toy almost took your finger off.
Yeah, they didn't expect Trump to be the original Donald Trump that he's always been. They tried to tone it down in the White House, but clearly he had no signs of slowing down
at all. Right? I mean, at all. What kills me is the people that work for him.
And if he got in 4 more years, he's gonna do the same thing.
The people that work for him in that place, I fail to see how they could have actually bro. I find it very hard to go into a regular job every day where I don't like my boss. And if me and my boss can at least find some type of common ground, I can't work there. And I find it very hard to see these people going there day after day, knowing that this guy's dead wrong. But it also goes to show you that some people place a lot of other things over morality.
Yeah, and you know,
Respect.
DC is that type of place, man. You know,
It is.
It's politics.
It's
man.
one
like,
of the places. I liken it to I like it. DC is the Vegas. DC is the politics. What Vegas is the gambling,
I say that.
and what Amsterdam is the horse.
Yes, it is, man.
I'm just saying that's what it is.
I can't argue that.
You know what I'm
man.
saying? Like, you know, that's what it is. So you are going to see them type of people, but neither here nor there, because at the end of the day, this horrible experiment will be over in a mere 8 days, and we could get this orange asshole out of the White House. And I can't wait till the 21st. Cause come the 21st of January, let me explain to y'all what's gonna happen now. Peep it. So first of all, let me give y'all this gem right here, because I hear people talking about it, and I want y'all to know that it's not technically possible. You can't pardon yourself with a post-dated pardon. So Trump can't say I'm pardoning myself when I haven't actually been charged of a crime. It's nothing to pardon. And that pardon is not post-dated. Like, now I'm going to pardon myself, but I'm going to pardon myself for the 31st. I'm going to just put the paperwork in today. It does not work that way. So what's going to happen is on the 19th, he's going to leave the White House because he's not going to the inauguration. On the 20th, we're going to have the inauguration. Joe Biden is going to be sworn in as president, and then we're going to start our 2021. But come January 21st, I hope the Southern District of New York knock on that door and slam him on that shit before they take him out of handcuffs.
I don't think
because the Southern District of New York won't hit.
Guys like Trump don't go to jail, man.
Yeah, I don't think they
guys like that don't go to jail.
It's nothing. Nothing there.
Well, I mean, we got some examples. You got Bernie Madoff who went to prison, and
he wasn't a Donald Trump though, man.
Bernie Madoff.
But listen, when you look at the position Trump holds, the most powerful office in the country, like, you know, this shifts everything when they pursue Trump, and if they want to look into all these different things, that's going to be another drag in American politics. That's going to take away the focus of the American people when it comes to everything else that really matters. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to waste that type of energy in pursuing Trump just to say, I'm gonna stick it to you just cause of
the Southern District, the Southern District of New York.
It's not in anyone. I would say it's not in my interest as a black man to worry about what the hell happened to Trump after he's out of office. I got so many other things plaguing me and my people. Why would I be focusing on Trump? We got him out of office. Boom, it's done. Let's let this other guy figure some other stuff out. You know, he's going to have his policies and his other plans and things that he want to put in motion. That's the guy that we, or as people, selected. You know, it's his turn to go ahead and screw it up. Right now, it's like, you know, it's a domino effect. He got to rebuild what just happened the last 4 years. Right. And in turn, like, you know, we're still in the same position, if not worse, as people. So when this time happens after the 21st, right now, even we should be focusing on ourselves, understanding how do we get the most out of this situation. We got to look for all the bright lights and the shiny stars that are around us, because right now, 2020 dropped us so low. Like, it brought us all the way to the mud. And the only good thing about getting dropped so low, it's only one way to go from there, and it's up. And right now, that shining light for somebody could be focusing on put a business and all these other loans and money that's flying around out there. Yeah. Get your hands on something and create. You got to get creative. You got to work around what's happening, because right now it's like it's prime opportunity. Your hours probably cut low at work. You got more time to work at home. You got unemployment that's running wild. I think they just did an increase with the food stamps and things like that also. So now it's money that's helping you. Use this time wisely to focus in on what really matters. Right. And that's just survival. It's as simple as that.
Well, so, and I get what you're saying, but also think about this here. It's so important for us to see what happens with the president. And I'll tell you exactly why. For years, we've always, as a people, realized that we were held to a different standard. We realized that had Obama done any of the things that Trump would have done, Obama wouldn't have made it past year one, let alone 4 years.
Not at all.
It's important for us to see that punishment is doled out equally, regardless of race, religion, wealth, health, all of that. Because guess what? Who had interest in seeing Bill Cosby go to prison for 10 years? The man barely could walk, barely could see. The stuff that they were talking about happened in the 70s and the 80s. And I personally didn't believe it, no way. But who had an interest in seeing this man be in prison for 10 years? But somebody wanted to see it. I want to see Trump go to prison, because him going to prison lets me know and lets the populace know that this country does not stand for that tyranny. This country will never stand for the ideals of Trump.
But it does.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about what it does. We're talking about what it looks like. And guess what? As much as we know what happens behind the scenes, I tell you what, it'd be nice to see it happen in the front sometimes.
Man,
And that's the biggest thing to me. The biggest thing to me is people have to know that the behavior is not acceptable. And we start that by ensuring a prosecution of this guy.
This is finna be the ultimate. We finna see white privilege at its finest, just like we seen when they stormed the Capitol, just like we seen at any time it come down to situations like this where you got somebody who got multi-billion dollars. Then you talking about not only multi-billion dollars tied in with politics. He got to the highest office in the world off of stupidity, and then you talking about he finna walk out of there and go. But he not going to no damn jail.
Listen, America is in the worst state that it's ever been in, and it really just it starts with the people, man. Like you look at the people are a reflection of its policies, man, and everything that's going on. America is so disturbed in so many different ways. It's like, like we really need to step back and get ourselves together as people before we even think about who's president and what he's capable and what he's gonna do. Because as an individual, like we really have so much growing and things to do as people when it comes down to just our day-to-day lives and our views and our values. And because right now it's running so wild, and it's a reflection in our youth, it's a reflection in our health status, it's a reflection in everything, our entertainment industry, it's a reflection. America is buck wild right now. It's as simple as that. It's no guidance. It's a reflection of the chaos that's portrayed in the media.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's just like, okay. So I know that you got, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that at least one of you have seen these videos that have surfaced over the last couple of days where these people that stormed the Capitol, where they are finding out why they own flights that they have been put on a no-fly list. And I cannot tell you no lies. Wow. It feel good. It feel good to see them Anglo-Saxons who think they just got all the goddamn privilege.
That's a good thing.
Be on the plane, and the people say, "No, ma'am, you got to come off because you've been put on the no-fly list." See, that goes a long way to us not feeling that there's such a thing as white privilege. Once we see that crime and punishment are handled equally amongst colors, then that provides us more faith in the government, more faith in our leadership. You see what I'm saying? It's a trickle down. It has a lot.
You gotta look at the quality of the crime that took place here. You know what I'm saying? Because you look at it like it's somebody multiple people are facing a murder charge for the cop that died there.
Yep.
So this is a different type of crime. Then us as African Americans in our own communities, we're subjected to different type of racism on a day-to-day basis. So when we see like these things happen, and we think about white privilege, and they ain't going to jail, they ain't getting arrested. We think about that. So it is appealing to see, they got this guy holding the statue or the stand, running through the building, taking pictures. They got the guy, we like that. We enjoy seeing that because like we know that the laws are taking place. But you look at the type of crime that took place in the Capitol, these are federal crimes. These people, they're going to round up each and every one of them that they can and prosecute them to the fullest. That's going to happen. America's not going to just let this guy who had his face plastered all over the media just pass through like nothing happened. They're going to find those individuals and they're going to prosecute them to the fullest. So when we do sit back and see these type of things, we enjoy that, but we really have to look at the bigger picture. That doesn't change.
Mhm.
Nothing that goes on with me, you, and I. Because we can
Mhm.
either leave here and our vehicles get pulled over, and before we know it, we got some other stuff going on again. Like it doesn't change.
I mean, that is true. And you know what's so crazy? One of my partners, he an older guy. He's 64, and he said to me today, sitting outside, we was talking, and he said, man, coming from when I was a child to now, say, man, this country done changed so much. So as far as race relations, now if you think about it, we still got a whole hell of a way to go. And we not halfway there yet. But in 64 years, he's seen enough change to be flabbergasted by it. So we know that the system, we can change this system. It's going to take a while. But you know what? It does start with us. It starts with how we talk and how we treat our children. We got to let our children know that it's okay to be the police. See, because you got to think about it. In our community, a lot of this stuff is stigmatized, so we traditionally wouldn't push our children to do it. And because of the music that we allow our children to consume, which is actually a great segue into the next and probably the last hot topic of the day. But because of the music we listen to, the movies that we watch, all of that stuff in our community, it is not allowing our children to get to those places where we need to see that change. So when you talk about being a law enforcement, we would be so worried about the snitches and, oh, you 9, you 12, you the ops and all of that. We don't even look at law enforcement as a career path. But the more of us that becomes law enforcement, the more equally law enforcement treats us.
Right.
Now, I still see brothers who will let a white man kick your head in. I'm not saying that that's not the case. But as we continue about, as this generation gets older, and they become adults, and the guidance that we have being what I would like to refer to as the woke generation, I think that we are breaking a lot of the generational curses that has plagued our families, starting with being college educated, starting with some of the ideologies that grandma and granddaddy and mama and daddy instead. I even see, this part I'd agree with, but I see a lot of black people talking about not whooping their children no more.
Yeah.
I'm whooping your ass. But that's just me.
The thing is,
I'm gonna say this. This is why I don't. This is why I'm trying to get away from it. I might pop you once in a blue moon, but whoopings is this. It was something that was passed down from slavery. It came from keeping you in line and controlling your mind into being feared. You know what I'm saying? So they feared master. So now kids look at us as mom and dad. They fear us when you put your hands out. You ever see them go, whoa? They already jumping. But then at the same time, you got to think like this. Why do you need fear when you're training their mind? If your parents, if you are that parent that's training your child mind to always understand that you can talk back. You can tell me how you feeling. It's okay to talk to me. If you talk to my little daughter right now, which is your niece, her mouth is just so like bang, 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 bang. She responding, bang, 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 bang. She quick and she know exactly what you saying. She coming back because at the end of the day, she's not in fear of if she say the wrong thing, you're gonna sit her down and tell her that's the wrong thing. She's gonna get emotional about it because she's gonna have feelings towards it because she didn't know. She just talking, but she's not in fear to talk to you. She's not gonna see an adult and be like,
man, I'm not gonna lie to you. It sounds great what you're saying. You're raising my niece. Listen, my niece is so vibrant. This little girl here, listen. This little girl is definitely gonna be some type of a star in some capacity. She has so much personality and all of that, and that's well and great. And I want to commend you and Crystal and everybody for doing such a great job. I'm whooping ass. Don't get out of line with me, because you know right from wrong, and I ain't going for it.
I think one of the good things and one of the biggest things is that our generation has access to the information that it needs to actually grow and develop and remove itself from the issues that has held back the generation before us. And that's on all levels, especially when it comes to like medicine and health, and even when it comes to parenting. Like, it's information out there. We have access to case studies and, you know, journals and medical journals and all these information that tells us, like, it's ineffective at points, you know, and just talking and coaching can be a more effective way when dealing with children, because it's really psychological, like you said, like, you know, and, you know, it's a lot of people are moving in that direction. And I got to really say that myself personally, I'm in that same direction, because I find that the way you handle certain situations, it dictates your overall mood and feeling. And if you handle a stressful situation by increasing the stress levels in the atmosphere, in the room, whether it's towards yourself or the individual, you can continuously put yourself at risk of becoming ill health-wise. Because when you stress more regarding, let's say, a child and discipline, you're going to stress yourself, and that's going to bring about troubles like high blood pressure and things like that. And now you're dealing with a chronic issue because you can't manage your stress. So I find it personally better for myself to watch how I handle and approach a situation, mainly because of the stresses. And the main thing, stress is going to always come to you no matter what's going on in your life. But stress only has a negative effect on you based off of your reaction to it. So if you take that stress that the child might be giving, or your boss might be giving, or the president might be giving you, and handle that stress efficiently, you're able to protect yourself when it comes down to certain illnesses, such as like high blood pressure, or, you know, different things, because like pressure bursts pipes, and that same thing goes with a brain aneurysm. Look at Dr. Dre dealing with his wedding, or dealing with his divorce, and he worked all these millions of dollars, and he's sitting on a hospital bed with a brain aneurysm because he's dealing with the stress coming from his divorce lawsuit. Boy, stress is a big thing now.
These women stress you out, boy. Do not let these women stress you out, boy. I promise you, boy.
And the women are going to stress you out.
Well,
but
see,
it's about how you handle that stress that's going to actually move you through those type of situations.
Well, see, now I think that there can be. I don't think that one approach supersedes the other. I think that both approaches need to be worked in together. So there is a level of conversation, and there is a level of talking and reiteration to a child. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Explain why. Good. Now, after we've had this conversation more than a few times, and after I've told you a few times, you need to associate what you're doing with something that you don't like. It's just like if you was a child. Back in the G, your mama caught you smoking cigarettes, she'll make you smoke a whole pack. Anybody who done smoked a whole pack of cigarettes in one sitting, I tell you, they don't ever want to smoke cigarettes again. They were so, especially when that happens to you as a child. You see what I'm saying? So now, since I done told you several times, you need to associate something else with not doing what I've already told you not to do, and that's gonna be the pain of me putting my foot in your ass.
That's a psychological.
So that's just me. And y'all listen, I don't beat my baby girls because I listen. I'm so soft. So my daughter, I ain't never put my hands on her, and I probably ain't never even raised my voice at her. So I could be out here doing a whole bunch of cabinet rapping, but my son, I ain't never played that with him. He's always been a good kid, so I never had to. But that leads me into our last hot topic, which was, and I don't know if y'all seen this, but Cardi B. So apparently Cardi B is sitting in her $1 million house that I'm pretty sure has surround sound. So you ain't did the greatest job in the world of hiding it, but we're not going to even go that part. She's sitting in the house, she playing a song, WAP, whatever, however you pronunciate it, WAP. Mm-hmm. And her daughter runs in, Culture runs in. She immediately, boom, tried to stop it from playing, quick. She looked almost flabbergasted and floored that her daughter had ran in while that song was playing. Mm-hmm. So then that brought up a whole firestorm in social media, and it was essentially, you got some people that feel like, well, Cardi B, you make that music and our children listen to it, but it's not good enough for your child to listen to it.
One, her child is like 5, right? Or 2 or 3.
I don't know.
Still young. I mean, she's still toddler. I'm pretty sure she ain't making that music for you. Now, if your 13-year-old get a hold of it, that's something that she got a hold of. She might be good with the internet, whatever. She might know how to search and do all that. But I'm talking about 13 and younger that don't understand right from wrong, don't understand that that's just in the.
What the hell make you think a 13-year-old don't know right from wrong?
No, I'm just saying, just they react to you got them out there. I'm not going. I'm talking about.
Videos react also to certain things like that too, man.
Yeah, but
So,
I'm talking about keeping away from certain songs, away from the toddlers.
right. Well, so this is the thing, and you got two competing situations with this, because you got some people that feel like I just said, you know, damn, you make that music for our children, but you don't make it for your children. And then Cardi B says, well, she made that song for the culture, not for culture. Which her daughter's name is Culture. She's talking about for the culture. That ain't no song for the culture either. Our culture is not wet ass, you know, whoop-de-woos. So I just disagree with that part. But then
I
people,
think she made it for adults and not kids.
she made it for adults. See,
I mean,
but listen,
in
it's under
every aspect or every dynamic, you can look at it as, hey, boom, she jumped up and tried to turn the song off. I would hope somebody that I'm dealing with got a 5-year-old running around and that song on and they listen to it and don't know the 5-year-old woke or coming out the room or coming down the steps. I hope they would jump up and turn it off.
I kind of liken this situation to I want to call it like B plus parenting. The reason I say B plus parenting, because I can imagine myself when I was younger, I watched my dad stroll into I'll stroll in the room with my dad and like he'll be drinking. But the first thing he do is take his drink and kind of put it behind his chair. Like, you don't want me to see that he's drinking, but I knew he was drinking. I knew what he did. Or I knew what was going on.
Right.
So the reason I call it B plus parenting is he's aware that you're there and he's removing this element from being directly exposed to you.
Right.
And reason it's the B plus because if it was an A plus, it probably never occurred or happened in your vicinity. And I see it as her being a B plus parent, understanding that her child shouldn't be exposed to certain things, just like our children shouldn't be exposed to those things. And she did everything that she was supposed to do to remove her child from that element and that being exposed to that. And likewise, for us as parents, our children should not be in an environment where they're able to be exposed to different type of songs, because as we know, these songs carry a certain message, a certain frequency that can directly affect children responses and their reactions, children and adults, actually, their responses and their reactions to certain situations. And I look at myself growing up, I used to walk around, I used to listen to G Unit and Dr. Dre and all this stuff. You make me want to grab a gun and carry a gun. Those things affect people in their day-to-day choices. So for her to shield culture as she came into the room while this was playing, that's top-notch parenting. Hey, I'm gonna protect my child from this. Her job is not to protect your children. No, her job is to be an entertainer. So your job is to protect your children's ears and what they're listening to and and understanding like how to filter out certain things. Yeah. So her just stepping in on that, man, that's applause to her.
I mean, and I agree. I was first. I'm a very big critic of the style of music that, you know, like her, Megan Thee Stallion, a couple of these other young ladies. I'm a very big critic of that. And then the reason why I am, because I feel like what you're doing is, whether you realize it or not, whether you feel it or not, you're going to raise a whole generation of girls to be a whole generation of thoughts. And it's not by, and I don't blame specifically, I don't, because so this is how it goes, right? Now, myself personally, my daughter may not listen to WAP when she in the car with me. I don't even listen to the song, but she wouldn't be listening to the car with me. She wouldn't listen to it if I was blasting in the house and she walked in. But what happened when she go to the skating ring with the school? What happened when she's at that schoolhouse and they're having a pep rally? What happens when she's in the car and they're playing the music? So it's not even that I willingly allow her to listen to that type of music. That type of music is all around her. Right. So now what we have to do, and this was just part of my feelings at the beginning. Now, again, like I say, I'm more so leaning to what she said was, you know, I protect my child, you have to protect yours. But at what point do we as a society protect each other's children? Because that's how it used to be. Right. And it used to be where I'm not going to do anything harmful to your child the same way you're not going to do something to mine. Now, yes, the song is catchy. yes, that's well and good. Maybe our interest needs to change so that because I had this argument with my mama one time, and I remember growing up, my mama used to always talk about the type of music that I may have liked. Oh, they be calling women bitches and hoes and this and that, this and that, this and that. And I always used to say, well, ma, you cuss, they cuss. I don't see the difference. And then it was the do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
Which that's more of the parenting style that I've employed in my life. Do what I say. Don't worry about what I do. Do what I say.
But it's a well-proven fact that children learn by actions. They see. You could tell a child a million times, don't jump the gate. But if they see you jumping the gate, they're gonna jump that gate to get to the destination that they're trying to get to. So you really have to be the actual foundation and be the model in your child's life. So if you don't want them to partake in certain type of activities, they have to not only understand the values behind that, but they cannot be in an environment where they're subjected to seeing and hearing these type of things. But you can't just say,
what
do
environment?
what I say.
What environment could you send your child to? If you took your child to the
listen,
basketball game,
it's about the morals behind it. Because I can sit in the car with my daughter. Well, most of the time we don't listen to the radio, but if I turn the radio on and something came in, I will most likely probably just change it and go from there. My daughters haven't been exposed from my end to certain things. So not saying that when she goes to other places that those things are not relevant.
Right.
She just probably has not much of a clue of what's really going on to those elements. And so I try to teach them like, these are things that you have to be aware of. And my oldest daughter is 7 years old. And I try to tell her like, this is the world that you're coming into. Right. You got to understand and see things. You got to learn how to handle transactions. You got to deal with money. You got to deal with credit cards. So when you expose your children to positive influence and you're surrounding them with things that are going to be beneficial to them, when they see the negativity, it's going to have a negative effect on them. They're going to feel that, but they're going to know how to deal with it. That's the main thing. This stuff is not going anywhere. Hip hop not changing. Cardi B is going to be Cardi B. Meg Thee Stallion is going to be Meg. But it's up to us to raise our children in a way that they're not going to be negatively influenced by these artists that are out there to make money. It's the business. Their job is to say what they want to say and say how they feel.
Right.
Our job is to protect and shield our children and nurture them and install the values in them. That way they're able to grow and develop by listening to Dr. Dre and Snoop and understanding like, yeah, that ain't the way, but this is cool to listen to here and there. Because that's how we grew up. We grew up listening to all this gang banging and thugging. But we went to school and we went and did what we were supposed to do and got an education and did the right thing.
Y'all 80 babies.
I think
y'all music made people really go kill.
But you know what I think what happened with us though? I think that as we came up, I think that there was more of a concerted effort with our parents,
Right.
and society in general to let kids know that shit that them rappers be talking about, they be lying.
Right.
And as we got older, it's just like wrestling. When you was a shorty, you couldn't tell me wrestling wasn't real.
Right.
But then when you get older, you realize, hey, it is the same way with our music. Whereas the previous generation from us really took it serious and really thought them boys was out there living like that, so they wanted to. And then you had a segment of our generation that kind of did that. A lot of us had started to realize that this man here run a multi-million-dollar damn company. How could he be a drug dealer? How could he do that? Like it's not real. It's entertainment. My thing is that we could entertain each other. We don't have to tap dance to entertain each other.
Nah, man.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I get it. Like she's trying to make money. I get that. There's nothing wrong with going after the bag. I get all of that. But the same way you could entertain somebody shaking your ass and talking about rap, you can entertain them in ways that are positive, that make them feel good, that teaches them things, and maybe she doesn't.
Positivity doesn't make money. It's as simple as that. Just like health doesn't make money. You don't make money off of being positive. You don't make money off of selling health. You don't get money out of that. People love that friction in between that allows them to do things that are not, they know that's not good. Just like riding a motorcycle. Everybody know riding a motorcycle is dangerous. The worst thing in the world. And look at everybody. Look at the guys on Martin Luther King. They ain't doing all the dangerous things. people know that, but when you tell people like, hey, this is bad for you, they're more inclined to go do what's bad for them because you know it's the cool. Bad is cool. Like,
But see,
I
but
still want to jump out of the plane. So.
and see, but guess what?
It ain't in your best interest to do it.
But, yeah, you ain't eat with the bullshit. You ain't keep talking about parachute and all that. I'm straight. But
gotta do it.
But now guess what? I think that boy, do y'all see my bicep? Boy, my bicep look kind of big, huh? But listen, what happened there? Because remember, if you remember, not a lot of people do, but if we remember, positivity used to sell. When you had the Public Enemies, even Queen Latifah's, the MC Lights, the Wu-Tang Clans, the Chuck D them boys.
They still do because you got you gotta look at what's the cat name, man, before we go on.
You gotta look at the shift in the paradigm when it comes down to like positivity. Like when you look at it, everything shifts. Look at the I'm gonna go to hip hop in particular. Look at the state of hip hop right now. You got the older guys looking at the young cats like, yo, they bugging, they tripping, like hip hop's a whack. They got all these other artists that's mumble rappers, and they just talking bad to them. But whereas you got generations of rappers that grew up together that influenced each other, such as the Biggie and Jay-Z and Busta Rhymes and all them being in the flow of growing together and maturing together. And they always influenced by all these other rappers that was there. They had the OG rappers that kept them in place. Rappers right now, everybody's for themselves. They chasing their own bag. It's no influence that's telling these younger rappers like, hey, your words matter. What you are portraying matters. And in our generation, even though we had, Tupac and all this East Coast, West Coast, we saw the movements that they were doing. They were actually building a brand and engaging. The Master P's of the world was actually out and about and developing and building businesses. These guys were forefront businessmen that was about that was going to handle theirs, but they value businesses and they brought people in. You can look at the infrastructure of like a No Limit Records. Look at P, look at his family, his brothers, look at all Mr. Magic, all those guys that he brought with them. Look at the foundation that he built with his family and all his friends. Right now, there's no type of structure in hip hop that even portrays that in any type of way. So you got a bunch of lone wolves out there just buck wild doing whatever they want to do.
Getting the bed.
They want the bed.
Yeah, and then
that's why I say that we as a community, and this is what I say specifically about women, because I realize that women move the world.
True.
As much as men are kind of like the power structure, secretly women move the world. So now, if you as a woman stop dancing to any song that called you a bitch or a hoe or anything negative, then guess what? People will be forced to change.
Agree.
Or that's just like the WNBA. You know what? People, they be like, oh, the WNBA, they don't get paid nothing. Women outnumber men in this country. If every woman watched WNBA and went to them games, there's no way them women ain't gonna make just as much as men make.
That's facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
So what we have to do in our community is we have to command better.
True.
And that starts, it's not to put the blame on them, but it starts with our women.
Right.
Because if you look at the trickle effect, men go to clubs because women go to clubs. Women go to clubs to dance. Men make music that women dance to. So if women dance to music that men make where they're being called bitches and hoes and being disrespected, then those people are going to continue to make that same music because that's what the people as perceived as wanting. If we change how we view these things, then we can change our culture, we can change our music. Because you have conscious guys in this world. You got the J. Cole's and the Kendrick Lamar's of this world that ain't rapping about killing and dope dealing. That may be in their music as a means to teach you a lesson about not doing something, but that's not what they do. You see what I'm saying? So we know that they're positive, the chance to rappers. We know that it can work, but it has to be a concerted effort between our entire community. And it's just like with the men in our community. If women said that you having a bag don't mean nothing if that bag didn't come from a place that was legal. that you having a bag, you having the nicest cars, that don't mean nothing if you got that from ill-gotten gains. Guess how many men would not conduct themselves like that? Because we know that a man, at the end of the day, whatever we want to sit here and say, man want woman. Man want woman, man gonna do what he gotta do to get a woman. If a man perceives a woman's want to be money and does not care about how that money is gotten, a man will do anything to get the money that's going to bring the woman. So when you start requesting and you start not accepting the foolishness, then you don't get the foolishness. And that's how we are literally going to change the face of our community. Our women are going to be at the forefront. You see Stacey Abrams, that sister, that she ain't bullshitting up there in Georgia. She got them people to vote. Keisha Lance Bottoms, the mayor. You got Miriam Bowser, the mayor in DC. Man, the Ilhan Omar. Man, these women, Ayanna Presley, these women are going to change our community. And it's because that is the position of the women in our
But that don't
community.
mean when they go home or ride home in the car, they ain't listen to the WAP on the
I really doubt that Stacey Abrams and
Hey,
talk about
listen,
they
they all
in
with
the car on the way
they
home.
all with the BC what that is
Historically black college.
yeah, they all with the BH what you call it?
HBCUs.
HBCUs. Yeah, they
Yeah,
all with
But
the HBCUs.
it all spins right back down to wellness, man. Like, you know, you got to take care of all the aspects of it. That goes back to intellectual wellness, just being open to understanding. Like, even if you were raised a certain way to see certain things, there's a bigger world out there. And our job as individual is to create the world that we live in. And the best way to do that is just being open to different aspects and just allowing ourselves to grow and flourish, man. So yeah, hats off to that part. I agree.
Yeah. So I mean, guys, listen, it is all love. We appreciate y'all tuning in today. We do apologize about the technical difficulties with our Facebook stream. It traditionally does not happen, but it happened today. So hey, can't do nothing about it. We try to make the best of a bad situation. We
got a
appreciate
lot of stuff coming together.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming together, man. We didn't even get to some of our announcements today. But the good thing about it is, as long as we breathing, we're gonna continue to do this. We want to thank Kelly for coming through.
Definitely.
Like I say, creator of the Wealthy Mindset. Him and his wife are doing amazing things in the field of health and wellness and being holistic. I don't know, him ain't got the biggest gem around his neck right now. Okay, I don't know what it is, but that shit like it kill cancer. That thing out on that around his neck. You like you put that, you hit you one of these things up, and you gonna be all right. But man, we got Kelly in the building, man. I do appreciate you coming through, bro. I definitely hope we can do this again.
Yes.
People, we love y'all. Y'all already know how we go out, just like how we came, man. We do our little thug thizzle. So until next Monday, same jam time, same jam place, Facebook, YouTube. We appreciate y'all viewing. Y'all appreciate y'all tuning in. Share, like, subscribe, man. Go to the Man Talk Monday page. Go to the Wealthy Mindset page. Go to the Mummies and Makeup page. Man, share, like, subscribe, man. Get 5 of your friends to do it. You heard me?
Let's
Until
go.
then, we just out here practicing.
Okay.
First on the track.
Turn the mics down.
No, because so that
I be feeling
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right. Start rapping it. I do my little dancey dance.
I got a what you call it.
You listen to me.
I'm grown.
Go.
Yeah, my baby don't listen to this. Y'all, we just practicing.